Hi yogis, welcome to your 20-minute relaxing and grounding flow for anxiety. Let's begin by coming into a Vishnu mudra, so kind of making a hang loose sign with your hands. Go ahead and plug one nostril with your thumb and inhale deeply, hold at the top. Switch the sides of your nostril and exhale out the other side. And just continue with this pattern. So inhale on one side, switch the plug of your nostrils, and exhale out the other side. So this is called our Nadi Shodhana breathing, meant to even out both sides of the airway passages, bringing a nice sense of balance into the body and the mind through this pranayama breath work. As we keep switching sides, let each inhale and exhale ground you and center you and calm your mind, calm your body. Just know that you are safe, you are whole on your own. You can always come back to this sense of safety and wholeness with any type of breath work that suits you. Good. And when you're ready, you can blink open the eyes. Inhale deeply, reach the hands up overhead. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center, sending love and warmth to that area. Inhale once again, reach it up. Hands come to prayer, pausing at your third eye chakra, sending healing, loving energy to the mind, calming down anything that may have aggravated it today. And hands come back to heart center. Nothing but love and ease here with this practice. Know that there is nothing to prove here. Interlacing the fingers. Let's go ahead and make our energy wave, circling out the wrists. Gentle warm up here for the joints. And clasping the hands behind head, let that head fall heavy into the hands. Open up the elbows. Exhale, close the elbows, round out the spine, gently pressing into your back space. Again, inhale, open up the chest, let that head fall back into hands. Exhale, round it out, tuck chin to chest, gentle stretch for that cervical spine. Good. Opening up the elbows, coming into a flat back on the diagonal. Choose one side and start to make a circle in this direction. And coming right back up to center. Good. Switching sides, slight twists as we carve out the center. Make your circle, twist other side, and back to center. Lovely. And switching the cross of the legs just to even out both sides here. Ground the sits bones down as you walk the hands out long in front of you. Let that head go. Send loving oxygen to the lumbar spine and let that breath really expand the ribs with each inhale, decompress with each exhale. Good. Hands walk back to center. Inhale, reach the hands up to sky. Exhale, twist to one side, sitting up nice and tall and looking to the back of your space. Breathe here. Inhale, hands reach up once again. Exhale, switch your twist to the other side. Good. Coming out of your twist, go ahead and extend your right leg long. Keep that left leg tucked in. Inhale, reach the left arm up overhead. Maybe grabbing a hold of the toes if that's accessible to you. If not, it's totally okay. Remember, the purpose of our practice is not to show off, not to prove anything, not to reach our toes. It is just your time to be with yourself in center. Good. And squaring off to that straight leg now. slight twists in the spine. Let that head go. You can grab a hold of the heel or just rest the hands on either side of that extended leg. Good. Walking the hands back to the midline and walking them out right in front of you. Enjoy this nice variation of a hip opener here. Good, and hands walk back to center. Head comes up last, and let's take all that to the other side. Extending the left leg long to the side. Inhale, reach the right arm up and over. Stretch towards your extended leg. Feeling a nice expansion in the inner thighs here. Expansion in the lateral line of the body. Good. And now let's square off to that extended leg, folding from the hips. And release into your asana. Good. Walk the hands back to center and walk them out long in front of you. Release that head down. Stretch it out on this side. If at any point in your practice your mind begins to wander, just always come back to that breath. Come back to that sense of safety and wholeness we cultivated at the beginning of class. Good. Now squaring off to the front of your mat, press back into your downward facing dog. You can walk it out on the spot by bending one knee at a time. Do what feels good here, and then step the right leg in between the two hands. Drop the left knee down, and on an inhale, reach the hands up in low lunge, Anjayasana. Interlace the fingers and bring the elbows together. Slight curve in the spine. Come into a half split variation here. See if you can bring that head closer to the earth. So really getting into the neck here, getting into the hamstring lines. If this is too much, you can always bring the hands back down to earth. Good. Inhale, coming back to low lunge. This time, let's interlace the fingers behind the back. Open up the heart space. Nice big stretch for that chest cavity. And see if we can keep that interlace and float the hips back into a half split posture with a shoulder stretch. Lovely. Slowly coming back up. Hands come up and back down to the earth. Step the back foot to meet the front. Forward fold at the top of mat. Roll up nice and slow to meet in your Tadasana. Inhale, high mountain. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, drop, swing it down. Release your energy. Release all that no longer serves you and find your fold once again. Inhale, halfway lift, crown of the head comes up to sky. Exhale, release down. Step it back into low lunge once again. Meeting in your high plank, find your flow, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, untuck the toes into your downward dog. Good, and let's bring that left knee to chest. Step it through low lunge, Anjayasana. Find that leg long first before you drop that knee down gently. Clasp the hands behind the head. Let the head fall back. Open up across the heart. Exhale, elbows come together. Find your cervical spine stretch in your half split variation. Again, take this at a level that suits your body today. If this is too much, bring those hands down to earth. Good, and coming up, open up the elbows once again, and we'll find that clasp, really opening up, stretching out the shoulder girdle, looking up to sky and then floating back into your half split posture with that shoulder stretch. Nice big release here, and coming back to Anjayasana, you can float those hands up for a moment, and on an exhale, float them down to earth and find your forward fold at the top of the mat. Good, rolling up nice and slow. Coming into our drop stings once again. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, reach up. And dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, surrender to your fold. Step it back to your plank and find your chaturanga flow. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, press those hips back to Balasana, child's pose. Ground the forehead down into the earth and walk the fingers to the right corner of your mat. You can gently press the hips to the opposite way to give that side body a nice deep stretch here. Good, and taking it to the other side, walk the hands to the left edge of your mat. Good, hands come back to center in your child's pose. Ripple up, tuck the toes for a bit of a toe stretch in your Virasana hero's pose. Ground the palms on the top of the thigh and start to circle the head to the right. Good, and once you come chin to chest, draw a circle with your nose to the left now. This can be as slow or as quick as you need today. Good, and coming into an active child's pose, ground the fingertips into the earth and really breathe into the armpit lines of the body. Coming to tabletop for a moment and pressing the hips back into your downward facing dog. Step the right foot in between the two hands, coming into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Clasping the hands behind the head, open up the heart space, elbows wide. Exhale, come into a pyramid pose, keeping the hands clasped behind the head, getting into that neck once again. Good, let that head be nice and heavy, nice and strong in the core for balance. Good, coming back to Warrior 1, interlace the fingers behind the back, shine the heart space up to sky and float it down, coming into that pyramid pose once again with your shoulder opener stretch. Good, slowly with control, release the hands, coming up through Warrior 1 and meeting in Virabhadrasana 2. Good. Inhale, hands come up to sky and dive the hands through prayer, meeting at the back of your mat in Skandasana. Reach one arm up, long up to the sky, that left hand, and bring it down. Right arm reaches up. And exhale. Square off to the back of your mat now in low lunge. Step it to plank and find your flow. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Untuck the toes. Release back to your downward facing dog. Lovely. Breathe here. Ground the hands and feet into earth. And we'll step the left foot in between the two hands and float on up with control to your Virabhadrasana 1. Clasp the hands behind head, open up, let that head go. Exhale, elbows come together and find your pyramid pose variation. Stretch it out, slight bend in that front knee to protect the joint there. Good, coming back up to Warrior 1, find your shoulder and heart opener before you release down into your pyramid pose with the shoulder stretch. Lovely. coming right back up to Warrior 1 and opening up to Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Inhale, straighten up through center and find Skandasana towards the front of your mat and peel one arm up to sky. Exhale, let it go. Peel the left arm up to sky and square off to the front of your mat. Step it back to plank and find your beautiful chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, float back to downward facing dog. Let that head be nice and heavy. Inhale, float the right leg up, three-legged dog. Bend at the knee nice and slowly with control and find your half pigeon posture. If the hips are feeling a bit tight and you have a block, you can place it underneath. And for extra grounding and safety sensation here, find that clasp of the hands behind the head, adding a little bit of weight to the head, helping you feel nice and grounded and heavy in this position. And as we breathe into the hip here, just notice if any emotional tension comes out of you. And just know that you have the choice to do what you need with those emotions. Good. And coming up, finding a mermaid position. Go ahead and connect the index finger with thumb, coming into a mudra here, and breathe into the quad, into the hip flexor. Slowly come out of your mermaid. And see if you can keep that foot where it is, coming into an IT band stretch. Extend the knees. Take this with ease and care here. And carefully step back to your downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg reaches up. And coming through this center, find your half pigeon posture on this side. And clasping the hands behind the head, ground yourself. And just feel it out here. Allow yourself to feel all that comes up for you today in this moment. And carefully coming up, bend at the back knee, find your hook, and coming into your mermaid pose with a mudra. Feeling nice and grounded, centered, whole once again, always coming back to that. Good. Find your release. And pressing into the hands, let's come back to your downward facing dog. Step the right leg to the front of your mat and come into Skandasana side lunge and just begin to rock back and forth. Finding last bit of mobility in the hips here. And don't worry about what it looks like. This does not have to be graceful at all. Just make your way to your bums. Coming into a straddle stretch, walk the hands out long and breathe into your hips. Keeping the feet flexed. Just settle here for the next few moments. And walking the hands back to center. Place the hands behind the bum and shine that heart space up to sky. Look up without pinching in the neck, just to counter our straddle stretch here. And squaring off to the front of your mat, begin to roll down with one vertebrae at a time and bring the knees to chest as that head comes down last. Rocking side to side, give your lumbar spine a well-deserved massage before releasing into your Shavasana. Let everything go here. Release the mind of anything that it may be attaching today. and I will call you back in when it is time. Returning back home to your body, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch the arms long up overhead and curl onto one side into a fetal position. Feeling nice and relaxed here. Press your way up to your seat of choice. And on an inhale, float those arms up overhead. Exhale, pause the hands at prayer at your third eye chakra, thanking your mind for committing to this practice. And then bringing the hands to heart, thanking your heart for loving and caring for your body and mind. Let's open up the hands into a lotus mudra and receive all that you need for the rest of your day. Seal up that energy and bow down. Thank you so much for being here and practicing with me. Namaste. If you enjoyed this flow, please consider giving this video a like, subscribing to my channel, and visiting the links in my description for more. Have a beautiful day.